Hello and welcome to the 3D text exercise. This is going to be a fairly quick one. I've set up, as I have in the other videos for this week, a pretty much halfway done file. This should be pretty straightforward. I have a movie clip called Twinkle, and I have it animating from left to right in two spots. Okay, you can look at the details on the step by step. One is from frame 100 to 200. The other one is frame 100 to 300. The only thing I sort of want to point out is this modified document, and this is going to be in step 5. Here you have your stage color. I can't remember if I've shown this before. If you know that your stage is always going to be the same color, no need to sort of make that a graphic and deal with it in your timeline or anything like that. You can sort of change the stage color here. So I'm going to choose a dark grayish here. Okay, so make sure you do that in this exercise. Now, I'm basically up to, let's see here, finish step 18. And again, this is sort of a crash course on this. We're just going to sort of show the last few steps on this. It says click on the last frame of the layer 1 tween. Okay, so here's layer 1, which is the first twinkle kind of coming through. So I'm going to go up to the last frame of it. Okay. And then it says choose the 3D rotation tool. This is a tool in your toolbox. It looks like a sphere with sort of some lines around it. I'm going to click that. Okay. Now I'm going to come over here and sort of zoom in so I have some, so I can sort of see this. You see where I am. I'm in the last frame. This is sort of off the stage. And I want to sort of rotate this in the sort of 3 dimensions. Now, look down at the bottom of the step-by-step. It says, please note, this tool takes some getting used to in terms of creating the effect you desire. The goal of this exercise is to introduce ideas of 3D. The red handle represents the x-axis. The green represents the y-axis, the blue is the z-axis, and additionally you can drag the orange outer ring to access free transform functionality. I tend to like this orange because I can sort of pull it the way I want, and I know I want to sort of pull it this way and then flatten it out, etc. And you'll see you can sort of move that twinkle how you want. You can go into the other rings. I'm going to go on the blue here and kind of rotate it. I'm going to go into the green, let's see here, and transform it that way. And you'll see that you're sort of like a regular tween. I'm going to zoom out. You're defining sort of an ending state to something. So this one is fairly minor. It's sort of moving, tilting that way. If I want to sort of affect it more, I can click on that last frame. Choose the 3D rotation tool. Sorry. I'm going to zoom in so I can see that a little bit more. And again, I like this sort of orange one because it does everything all at once and it's a little more sort of, as it states, free transform. So I'm going to make a more dramatic change there. Okay. So at the beginning, the first twinkle is just pretty flat. As I move here, it's sort of seeing and defining itself in relation to its ending state. Okay, so it's going to sort of float across, and because of the rotation we're doing, it's going to appear a little more 3D. Okay, now it says basically repeat for layer 2. So let's go to layer 2, and here's this twinkle, and let's make this one a lot more dramatic. Okay, so I'm going to do that. And you'll see both of these now. I'm going to test this movie. Have a starting point, which is their first keyframe, and have an ending point, which is their last keyframe, which has been affected by that 3D rotation. Okay, you'll see that the second one is a little more dramatic. What I want you to do is just sort of show me 2 rotations there with the 3D rotation tool. I don't need little star, just make twinkle twinkle on this one. This is a good way to sort of introduce, seemingly 3D things in something that's 2 dimensions. Text is an easy thing to sort of alter in this way. And a good way to sort of add some dimension. Now, speaking of Project 2, which I was on an earlier one, I've given you lots of possibilities here with text and sound. You'll note that Project 2 sort of demands both of those things. It is not a requirement to use 3D text. It's not a requirement to use a mask layer. However, you are going to be graded on sort of your ambition and sort of understanding of how your text lays up against the type of quote or lyric or whatever it was that you have chosen to do. You should have at this point several different ways in which you can treat text: shape tweens, motion tweens, 3D text, using masks, having text sort of overlay on one another, having text rotate. There's lots of different ways text can be treated in order to sort of match or meet potentially what your text is about. What I think is good about the examples that I showed is that the text, the form of the thing, matches the content of the text that was chosen. So take a look at those examples. Email me with any questions. Please note the due dates on both the exercises as well as Project 2.